You know, we're living through a modern-day gold rush. But this time, the gold isn't buried in the ground, it's being created in the cloud. We are, of course, talking about artificial intelligence. And this isn't just about some neat new apps on your phone. No, no. This is a full-blown economic revolution, and it is fundamentally reshaping our world. So let's dive in and see what's really going on. To really get a handle on this whole thing, we've got to start with one simple but massive question. How big is this AI revolution really? I mean, what's the true scale of it all? The answer? Well, it might just blow your mind. There it is. By 2032, the global AI market is projected to be worth over $2.4 trillion. Just let that number sink in for a second. We're not talking about a niche tech sector. We're talking about an economy larger than that of many countries, all built around a single powerful idea. Now, take a look at this chart because this is where it gets really wild. What you're seeing isn't just steady growth, it's an explosion. We're going from about $370 billion in 2025 to that $2.4 trillion number in just 7 years. That's a growth rate of over 30% year after year. It's just staggering. So you have to ask, what is fueling this absolute inferno of growth? It's not just one thing. It's more like a perfect storm of powerful forces all converging at exactly the right time. Let's pop the hood and see what's driving this engine. First up, you've got this incredible surge in pure computational power, thanks to amazing chips from companies like NVIDIA. Then you have the fuel for the fire, unbelievable amounts of data to train these AI models on. But the third piece, this is the real game changer. AI has been democratized. It's not locked away in some high-tech lab anymore. And this is how it happened. The tech giants, the hyperscalers like Microsoft, Google, and Amazon, they've basically turned AI into a public utility, like electricity or running water. Through their massive cloud platforms, any business, big or small, can now tap into world-class AI. It's almost as simple as flipping a switch, and that has completely changed the game. Okay, so the market is enormous. The tech is accessible to everyone, but what does that actually look like day to day? Let's bring this down from the clouds and see how AI is showing up in the real world, from the stuff we buy to the very cities we call home. All right, first stop, the global supply chain. That incredibly complex web that gets a product from a factory on the other side of the world all the way to your front door, well, it's being totally rewired by AI. Just take a look at Mars. Yeah, the company that makes all those candies you see at the checkout counter. They were dealing with insane market volatility, and trying to predict demand was a nightmare. So they used Microsoft's Azure AI to build models that could forecast demand in real time. The result? A much stronger, more efficient supply chain. And that means fewer empty shelves for us and way less waste for them. But it's not just physical products. AI is also changing how we get our information. The big race right now is to make AI assistants not just book smart, but street smart, to make them aware of what's happening in the world right this second. Look at what Meta is doing. They're basically plugging their AI directly into live news feeds from a whole bunch of different sources. The goal here is pretty straightforward. When you ask their AI about a breaking news story, you get a helpful, up-to-the-minute answer that actually gives you a few different perspectives. And this transformation isn't just about what we buy or what we read. AI is starting to shape the very places we live. It's helping us plan the cities of tomorrow today. This quote from Carlo Rotti over at MIT, man, it just hits the nail on the head. City planners are using AI for, well, everything, from making traffic flows smoother to figuring out the best place for a new park. But the most important part, as he points out, is bringing the public along for the journey. Turning the city into a living lab where we can all learn and experiment with this stuff together. All right, all this amazing progress, all this optimization, it brings us to a really complicated and deeply human question. What does all of this mean for our jobs, for us? And this slide, this really gets to the heart of the whole debate. On one hand, you have these incredible gains in productivity. JP Morgan has doubled productivity in some areas. Citigroup saw a nearly 10% jump in coding efficiency. That's the promise. But then, on the other hand, you have the peril. The CEO of Wells Fargo said it bluntly. AI is an opportunity to do more with less people. And look at PNC Financial. Their business has grown massively, but thanks to automation, their number of employees has stayed flat for a decade. This is the human equation we all have to figure out. We've seen the incredible scale, the drivers, the real-world applications, and the very real human cost. But where is this rocket ship ultimately headed? Well, to find that answer, We literally have to look up, beyond our own planet. The next frontier might just be something called orbital compute. Now, stick with me here. Think about it. Data centers on Earth are starting to hit their limits. They need huge amounts of power, tons of cooling, and a lot of land. So what's the solution? Well, what if you move them into space? We're talking about a network of satellites that process data right there in low Earth orbit. And look, this isn't just science fiction. Elon Musk himself has said that as our energy supply on Earth gets tighter, these AI-powered satellites could actually become the cheapest and most efficient solution. And it's already starting. Companies like Orbit AI just had their first successful launch of an orbital cloud satellite. This is happening now. So from a market worth trillions of dollars to AI computing in orbit around our planet, this revolution is moving at a truly incredible speed. It's touching every single part of our lives. The technology is here, and it is accelerating faster every single day. So I guess the only question left is the most important one. Are we ready for what comes next?